here.
Just turn the light.
All right. So that becomes very important. All right, I think we're getting ready to jump on.
So I just pushed the live.
Yes.
You got live? Okay, we're pushing live now, just so everybody knows. All right.
If you do not want your video to appear on Facebook at any point in time, drop me a message in the chat.
So for those people coming on live, we went through our early stretches. We're talking about fundamentally the difference. A lot of people say, here's where your feet go, right? Always the same, you know, shield side or sword side forward. And for new people, that adds a really good foundational base. As you get better and better, you notice you can chase something with either foot and throw from either side. Those rules can be broken as long as you understand what the weaknesses are and that you understand how to do it, and that's what we practice. The other piece right here, what we're talking about, is these stretches forward to cover range and put tension on your opponent. So grab me a sword real quick. One thing I'd like to see a little bit more is everybody work on their range control against their opponents. Everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Dan, come on over here. So Dan's gonna stand in front of me. This is a very normal place people set up and stand in. They're exactly in the range where they can just drop and they can throw and they can hit stuff. So that's fine as long as you understand you're in that range. The key here is you could literally step another foot out of that range, and now I can't hit nothing until I lean forward, and then I can hit stuff. But then as soon as he wants to do something, I lean back. Now I'm out of range. So push that range out, even if it's only an inch. Here I normally set up here, I'm gonna go 1 inch out. And then I'm gonna lean back. So that's kind of far away now. Notice how I lean back, he wanted to lean forward because he wanted to stay in that same range. So I might do this. So I pull and then throw. See how you're controlling that range better. So work that distance. Now, if I'm way out here, remember if I'm way out here, Dan doesn't care anymore. Because even if I lean, he knows that I have to step and then he can do something. So be careful of that range when you're too far away from somebody, because they can relax and rest. You can as well, but if you're trying to keep his energy up or her energy up, this is the place, or their energy up. This is the place we do that. So always, like, I'll rest, breathe for a second, then I'll step right back on this edge, and then I'll lean and I'll push. This is almost all the time. I get right back, I'll step out for a second, I'll wander right back, and then I'll push, and then I'll push. I'll push. All right. So those pushes are your probes. So that's why we're looking and working on that footwork and building that strength in those feet. All right, last one. Let's cover the hamstring or the sciatica, the hips. We do use a lot of this in what we do because we got a stretch stance a lot of times. Bess had a great one where you essentially put your figure 4, your legs.
Foot on top of me. There you go. Yeah.
And then you grab your other one, which I really can't.
Yeah, there.
And then you pull. Okay, so that's the figure 4. If you can't do that, leave your one leg on the ground, grab your foot, grab your knee, bring your knee to your opposite shoulder. Remember, a good stretch lasts for about 15 seconds, or I usually count to 20.
Don't push it too hard right at the beginning of practice. You don't want those muscles to get super stretched out right before you then go try and contract them real hard to use them. So right now, gentle stretch.
All right, and then the other one. Oh, that one's the bad one.
Also, it makes a difference if you let your leg fall out to the side versus pulling it this way. So if you're not feeling a good stretch, maybe move it around.
All right, one more time. Bess has done like 100 of these today already, so.
You can also do this sitting up or sitting on a chair and just cross the leg and like lean over it if laying down on the floor is not a great option for you. Pigeon. Pigeon. Oh yeah, but that's like up to the side, it's not crossover.
All right, I think Side's ready to run us through some stuff.
I'm gonna switch this to the camera first.
All right. And I will, I'll be the first one to say, everybody on YouTube, everybody on Facebook, wherever this is going, just making sure I am working on all the, I say guys a lot. I've been trying to get out of that. That's been, a lot of 50 years plus of my life. So I am working on that. I apologize. I will keep working on it. I promise you. Talking about that. Him, her, they, whatever.
She, her's fine.
Okay.
They.
I'm good.
I'm working on it.
No, I'm good. Me too.
Let us know as it
I'll-
evolves.
I'll let you know when I know. I'll probably have a better idea after surgery.
There you go. I knew you were going to do some surgery, so
All
I
right.
just wanted to try my best for you.
I
Okay.
appreciate you.
Getting
asking.
us
Cultural
started.
points. I thought you guys meant people. Am I wrong?
To the other in the box.
I thought like everybody said you guys and that meant everybody. Yeah, I'm
It's
okay.
certainly true that guys.
I was in heels all day
are
yesterday.
Oh, that's good to
gender
hear.
neutral, but the
By the way.
reality is, guys means men.
Put the mic out here so
Men
it's
shouldn't
closer.
be the default.
Let's try not to step
Keep that
on
head
it.
up. Let's work on not looking down today. Anytime you're ready.
I just say, oh, you lot.
All right. Remember the other foot.
Why? But that's
Well,
an
bit it.
English thing, I think.
Almost bit it too.
I appreciate the timing of that.
I see. It's the same spot.
There's like a lot of
You
us who
jinxed
trip
me.
over this thing.
Only because you laughed at me.
We're gonna
You tighten it up.
stretch out our ladder a little bit.
Readjustments.
Here, I got a hammer too.
Theoretically, if we stretch it out farther, then it won't, be as easy to trip over. Hopefully. Also,
Fingers
just
crossed.
watch out for the stakes themselves at the end. They'll trip you up. As soon as they finish hammering that stake, we're gonna start. Cameras over here. We're gonna start going backward.
All right.
I always want to look at
System will
the
end up in my
computer
butt.
to talk.
That's fine.
Nice, keeping your head up there, Dan. Good.
And both feet backwards.
This one.
Remember, keep those knees bent while you do these.
Okie dokie. Next one, let's move on into hopscotch. Outside and together.
They have a tip on it?
Don't follow my poor example.
Oh.
Stop staring at the ground.
I'm not sure if they're using the single layer yet or not. I would like to. Me too.
And don't forget backwards.
I've been
Mine
wanting
won't
to.
last more in practice.
Mine. Let's go back 20 years ago when we ran a very successful experiment.
Successful experiment with what?
Single.
Jump on in.
Remember to breathe.
Yes. Remember, breathing is good.
That's the hard part.
Force yourself to breathe in these.
You want to run backward. Okay, look, see how the online crew is doing. It's like they're waiting on us. So, all right, into our skiers. Basic drop step version. Just going open. What's that?
So shift your hips first before you move.
Yeah, this hip drops right into the 45. Yep. Yes. What I literally do is here's where I'm going. And you see how I just
Okay, Ksenia, you have skipped ahead one.
Did I?
Yeah, that is
Oh,
one.
is she doing a double?
Yeah, like that is the next one we do. This one we're going apart first, and then together.
in now?
Outside first.
Okay.
Which again, that is one that we do. We're gonna go ahead and do this one backwards.
Oh.
Might wanna keep an eye.
One foot in the ladder.
Yeah. See, everybody, this is backwards.
I'm stepping.
See how you're doing. Yeah, remember that you're supposed to be following essentially your weight shift. So you should be falling into those. That looks good. So sometimes really focus, pick some exercise. Sometimes you can just kind of roll through exercises. Sometimes it's good to really focus real hard on one and really push yourself.
This one, effectively, if we break it down to its most basic, is opening and closing. We're just doing this. Then we'll start moving it forwards and backwards.
They're looking good. Bess is on to the, hey Bess, I'm
Oh, yeah.
just verifying you're on to the next one, which is the crossover or the gather.
She's been a step ahead.
Okay.
of us. Kind of the whole way through. She's on top of it.
She's working hard.
So now we're gonna do the step in front. This is more of our shuffle
Yeah, so
version.
this is the shuffle.
When we say shuffle, for the sake of clarity and terminology, that means we're bringing our feet together first and then apart. Yeah, this one in its most basic form, if we were not moving down the ladder, would be here.
Oh, about just update.
Right, remember, this is,
Not telegraphing.
the idea is you're not crossing your feet on this one.
Mark slip paperwork here.
Thank you.
Yay.
Keep one in the ladder. There you go.
There you go.
There.
Perfect. How are they looking?
Looking good.
Angie, that looks great. Remember, make sure you're getting water. How are these feeling, Paul? You're looking good? Yeah, your center is beautiful on these, by the way.
Oh, and we didn't do this one backwards yet. So backwards. Yay.
Alexandra joined us and working hard. Awesome. Now backwards, quick.
Starting.
Yep. And then it goes behind. There you go.
Remember to drop your butt in there. In this case, you're almost dropping your butt into the chair on the 45. Trying to speed it up. Missed it twice. All right, next.
Next one, we're going to do that same thing, but we're going to add the angle. So we're going around our imaginary opponent this way. Don't forget the key is that first step, go ahead and turn the foot where you want the final position to be.
Yeah, turn that foot in the angle that you're doing. Yeah, exactly, Dan. That's good. Good.
Part of it.
Nice. That's smooth.
Do the twist.
A little bit, not a lot. Just that'll help get the momentum. That's better.
That body up straight. And try to land evenly on those feet. There, that's better.
And Grimmer's on top of it. Don't forget to go backward.
And backwards. Good. And look up.
Making sure. I'm not going off. Well, backwards is harder.
It is.
Something some boxers do in this one is they turn it into both feet moving fundamentally at the same time. Instead of a complete slide, it's almost like a jump. So it looks a little bit like this. Here's my foot in here. As this one's still coming across, but literally both feet leaving at the same time. What you're doing is you push your hip into the spot you're going. So there's two variations. Louis does a little bit between the two.
All right, looks like we're good to move on to our 3-step. We're starting back up. We are taking a step, then doing that shuffle across. We're just adding a step to the front of it, shuffle across.
Here.
Basically, keeping your options
So,
open.
yeah, you try to keep your center over your feet on the endpoints on the sides.
So, I'm sorry, what was this one again?
Step
Try it.
forward across all the 3-step. So
Yeah,
this
so
is,
you take the first step forward,
and then
flip
And
the
shuffle.
step
I
forward.
consider that
your
jumping.
little side skip step.
We're doing knees backwards?
Yep. All right, we do everything
It's
backwards.
all. Hold on.
So if you have not, go ahead and get your backwards run in.
So just a reminder for everybody's there, in person, we can hear everything, eh? Just be cognizant of that.
Step.
Step back, step with that back foot. There
There
you
we
go.
go.
Good.
Thank you.
Make sure when you're doing those that your whole line, oops, I'll do it straight at the camera though,
Hold
that
on,
your,
let me get back to you.
all right,
Okay, go.
that your whole line moves. In other words, foot goes here and then my whole line move. Then my whole line move, I'm keeping straight. You can, I see this a lot of times, sometimes this happens. You shift here and then you kind of bend your body with it. And then your head's still in that straight line. So make sure that you're keeping that body with your feet. All right, everybody, especially those who are outside, get a drink. So I'm looking at the next one.
Yep, grab a drink, and then we're going to take that one little step further into the cross behind. Now we're taking that step forward. Instead of our feet coming together, we're allowing it to swing behind.
So this one becomes a real important one because you can manage the distance that you fall here. And this is really important when you're doing this against an opponent. Because you can let them think that you can only fall a certain distance, and then you can fall more to get outside the wedge of their feet, outside that pie line. Remember what we were talking about, the pie line?
Pie of death.
The pie of death.
They're in the pie, they can have some death. And then when we go to do this one backwards, don't forget, we're now stepping back so that leg crosses in front. Because that's the swing path available to it.
Uh-oh, we're about to forget something.
I don't know. Drove up, now he's driven away.
I know.
Driven away, that's it.
Drove away.
English is a broken language anyway.
Yeah.
We could probably get us to say that a few times.
I'm talking about groundwater driving away and me making up silly words to describe it.
That's silly. English history language is wearing a trench coat. If you just turn it.
It's really just 3 raccoons in a trench coat. Yes, that's pretending to be a human.
English like takes out other languages in dark alleys and rifles through their pockets for spare change and grammar.
Oh, I thought English is like the SCA.
Vocabulary.
If somebody wore it on the field, you could have stolen it.
Right. I mean, English kind of is like that. That's why it's such a dumb language.
Every once in a while, you get invaded and forced into something.
Right.
Or you do the
You
invading.
look like
Nice
we're
job,
ready.
Beth. That's the way to go.
Very acceptable.
Grammar, you still doing all right? Give me a thumbs up. Keep that heat going. Watch that heat. All right, next one.
All right. Next one is our 4th step. So we start off to the side and we're just doing 1, 2, 3, 4.
If you have the room on this, or turn long ways with the ladder, work on even more than 4 if you have a little extra time. Good.
Remember, this is the goal here is one smooth motion despite having 4 steps underneath it.
If you want to challenge, do the 2 forward, 1 back.
He's coming back.
There we go. Andrew's got it up to 3.
Awesome.
3 little shuffles.
Really, the key in this exercise is just being able to make sure your balance is changing. You can change the number of shuffles you're doing. You can change the direction. But the key is that head's never going up and down. We're just having nice constant movement. This is one that you really want to breathe in. Just because this actually gives you the opportunity to add breath in it. Spotting those legs, Dan.
Thank you. Having a
Such squats.
We'll write it out.
All right, Paul's still working that one.
Mm-hmm. And there's got to go too.
That's fine.
Great job today, Grimmer. I know it's hot there. Nice transition work.
Where is Grimmer?
Chicago.
Oh,
Very good transition work, Grimmer. That's the way to go, man. You've come so far with your feet and keeping straight.
all right. I'm going to move on into our quick feet stuff. So we're going to start with our lateral in and out, out. So we're stepping in the box, out of the box.
Yeah, we got 30 more people coming.
But fun. He's like, no, I'm not ready yet.
Then don't forget to go back and do your other side, whichever side you didn't just do.
You want to jump in?
Peter's like, no, I'll let you guys do that.
Never been good.
No, there's people like that. They like to get a little bit more out of the other. Whew.
Nice, guys. I see lots of whole bodies moving forward and backwards on the camera. I like it.
Nice, Beth.
You got no pendulums. Wonderful. Okay. So now let's shuffle on to our next one. And we're gonna do the forward in and out out. So we're going out to the side, into the box.
Nice and fast. Keep the same height. Eyes up. Don't need to look at the ladder. You know where it is.
I don't know, man. I keep tripping on it. Tripping on ladders.
Quick feet.
They're everywhere.
Then you can do the other foot.
You can do the other foot. You can go backwards with both feet. This one's got a couple of variations.
A little harder the other foot.
Angie has a chicken and I love it.
Chicken doing ladder girls?
No, it's
I would
just
be very
hanging
good
out,
at it.
being
I'm
cool.
disappointed. You get that chicken authorized.
That chicken does ladder drills. I'm quick.
Chicken's done, ladder girls wouldn't bother me. He picks up that sword.
Yeah, then I'm done.
He rolls over his head more times.
When he grabs a knife with his beak, chases you around.
Dagger.
Chicken with a knife.
Bad. Well, that evolved quickly.
Little
Chicken with a knife.
You can tell we're all adults.
The stick,
Yes.
stick one.
We're in costume.
I had it long ago.
Chickens are period, man.
Chickens are period. What? Yes,
True facts.
I think they are.
No murder chickens.
Chicken rolls out.
All right, I hate quick feet drills.
Hello, hamstrings. How are you today?
So remember, you guys, I want to blame all these drills on side, not me.
You're welcome. Love you all.
Liar.
All right, looks like we're about ready to.
I think it's more of an incomplete.
Move on.
sentence than a lie.
Yeah, then one.
You guys broke the mic.
We're having a hard time hearing you.
Guys,
Guys, we can't hear you. Well, it's the jump jab. We know the jump jab.
yeah. Okay.
So it's okay with you, it's all the two ways, just drop forward and drop back. Drop, drop. So that's one way. So that this way with the drop forward, it's like 2 feet forward off your back foot and drop back off the forward foot. The other way is.
Louis,
Yeah, the trick is on you.
no. I'm not sure they can hear us either.
I don't think so.
Exactly, then you really got to put. The other foot.
I bet it's coming through Brennan's phone
Yeah,
or whatever this is not running at the moment.
I agree. Louis. Oh yeah, people can hear this. Never mind. Bronis? Well,
Nice call and working on some other stuff. That's good.
Bronis, can you hear us?
Hey, Grimmer, those have been working for you well? How's those working
Bronis?
for you? Can you hear me?
No.
Oh,
No here? Yes here? All right, we got unplugged. Hold on.
Okay.
That might have been me. All right. Again.
Oh,
Mike got unplugged.
Sorry, Mike got unplugged.
okay, that's good.
we're back.
Thank you.
Pointing to the correct mic again.
Yeah, we're gonna check the mics. Yes, okay. Everybody hear us? Angie, thumbs up if you hear us. Great. Okay. Just
Sorry
want to
about
make
that.
sure.
If we seem to randomly disappear again, let us know.
And I'll try to stop kicking it. All right.
Next switch foot. So this time body's gonna stay in a straight line and we're just gonna switch the legs underneath.
This is one that I've actually been using quite a bit.
Llama with a peacock.
And of course, don't forget your other side. For chickens with
Nice.
knives, look up Bill Bailey's Chicken Kiev song. Okay, gonna have to do that. How we looking? Looking good. Okay, so I guess we're moving on. Up next to our 2 forward, 1 back, or big forward, small back, however you want to do it. You can get multiple people at a time on this one over here. Okay, yeah. No guarantees on people. You don't have to match it.
And this is that example of pushing off that back foot a little bit.
Big thing to remember on this one. Try and remember to push straight forward, not turn into a leg, which is very easy to do on this. Got it. And then we switch feet, we do it again.
Wow, that would hurt.
It's staying down in your
Even if you do slide both
quad. Extend that back leg, push it forward.
Everyone's doing. Nice, Angie. Good. That's the way to keep those shoulders straight up and down. That hip should be really pushing out. Drive with the hip. Ooh, nice, Beth. Alexander, how you doing on these? Feeling good? Nice, that's the way. And then
Sorry,
back,
sir,
remember.
my knee's a bit sore, but I.
Don't forget, once we've done both
What?
feet,
Yeah.
flip around and do it
That's the way to
backwards.
do it. That's the way to do it.
Always backwards. You must please the wrong
Okay,
ball.
remember, breath. Don't bring your feet totally together. Good, still should be in a stance. There you go. Good. That's better.
This sort of the idea of what you would do with this in a fight. What this is sort of mimicking is
Here, I'll
I am dodging away from someone's shot and then coming back. So,
throw.
and then I am coming forward again to either return a shot or just to get back in the fight. I don't have to throw. I can just do it.
And then back. Put that pressure back on, right?
Take control of it.
Yep. Take control of that range. That's correct.
It's sort of the opposite idea when we're doing it forward. Is it's I'm jumping to throw a shot at you or make a big threat, and then I'm jumping back
Very
to
nice.
get out of whatever you're trying to return with. It's all the direction changes. Well, yep. And Andy's showing us you can go ahead and hold a
So the
sword if you want to take it to the next level.
What's that?
Practice doing it with your equipment. That is the next thing you can add.
So there's a question if you can get more range on these, and you can switch the order of the feet to get more range. So instead of pushing off the back foot, you push off the front foot, but you start your motion with your back foot.
That would be like
shifting.
It turns it into sort of a little shuffle.
Yeah.
It's like a shuffle.
Okay.
It's actually almost a pass and then a forward step.
It's a pass that's so small, it
Here's your pass.
doesn't quite pass.
Right, exactly. Still falling, quick pass, and then go back.
And you get more range out of it.
No, he does. I actually struggle a lot with that. It varies wildly by the person, like what works real well and what doesn't. So
Yeah, and you just have to also remember there's a little bit of a half beat in there when you're bringing a pass into a play.
part of why we do 800 million variants of these is so that you can figure out what your body likes to do and what it does not.
Exactly.
So, last ladder drill. That's really a whole bunch of variations in itself. We're getting into our turning step. So, in my stance, back foot, point it down the ladder, flip to the other side. Back into
Super
stance.
important of turning the feet. This exercise is really concentrating on turning your foot into where you want to go. It's a bad habit. We don't turn our feet that often. So that's what's happening a lot of times is then you don't get the full turn. There you go. The other nice part about this one, this is really a flow drill. So you want to flow through it. So if you're going to take your back foot, front foot, and then, yeah, right there, good. Perfect, that's, yep, right there, turn it. And then, yeah, and then it's just a small, I'm doing the back foot. Go ahead.
No matter what foot it is.
There you go, good, nice.
There you go.
Yeah, I have trouble with the front foot one a lot. Back I can totally do.
Well, next variation we do is we're going to step with the front foot out of our stance. So this changes which step is the big step and the small step. So you got to account for that. Otherwise, you won't make it out of the ladder or you'll overcompensate and go flying.
So when you have other people with you, these are some steps that you can practice a little bit of putting multiple steps together, or maybe a freezing step so you can do something against somebody. Dan, come here for a sec, Stan. Sure. He's going to stand right here if I'm fighting, and I look and I say, I already see his toe is pointed between he's in my pie, I'm outside of his, so I already know I got outside here. What I want to do is make sure he doesn't adjust that foot first, so I might give him a little push, or a little jab foot like we talked, here, and then use that roll outside that outside foot. So these are like the ideas that you can work against others when you have them around, or you could just get used to it. Here I am. So what happens in there, even though Dan's going to turn, he's actually turning late on this one. And he's turning mostly his upper body. Right, go ahead, front foot. You did your front foot?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody can watch me do my front foot really poorly. I have to really think about the front foot a lot. My balance is not good on the front. See, I pull it way too far back.
I end up with my toes pointing out.
I don't mind. This is how I like them, actually.
Okay.
Because it make it harder for people to break your pocket.
It's like a little bit out is fine. We don't want like
No, what pigeon?
ballerina out,
Like
and,
you-
and we don't want
no,
in.
no. It's not too bad, it's just noticeable.
Yeah, no, this is, if I'm standing and fighting you, this is, you see how your
And
point,
after
your
you've
toe
done
is
front
pointing
foot,
right
back
between my
foot, we
legs.
can go ahead and we
Turn
can
it
do
outside, you want outside that.
backwards.
And don't have to put that
So,
much. Turn it
point the
right
other
there.
way.
See, now you're pointed just outside my
Flip around, moving away from
Okay.
our opponent.
backwards.
So please relax.
Not like tight.
Enough that you have each other.
I know I screwed up too.
The backwards version.
Yeah, this version, you're just leading with your foot.
So actually, just we do this way, you'll be able to see me. So we get in stance, left foot forward, right foot back. We're gonna take that back foot, the right foot. This time we're gonna point it that way. We'll just flipping around back into that same stance. We're gonna start and end with our feet like this every time. So now same back foot. And flip it around. And I kind of didn't shuffle this way far. Next one. Talking forward.
Oh, yeah.
If it's having to push too far and like put too much force on your knees, make it a 45. And you don't have to turn as far. Because forking your knees doesn't really help the bicep. It's more of keeping my feet straight. So, thank you very much.
I think they have.
No problem. And then that is the last of the ladder drills. So once you've done all your variations, get some water, and then
Yes.
we'll find out what Bronis has in store for the rest of practice.
In fact, what we'll probably do in the next one is if you have we're going to practice a couple, like the exercise I just did. So if you have a stick or something you set in your room or your Pel, we're going to practice that little drop step and then that turning step so that you guys can see how important practicing these against something becomes. But water first.
All the water.
Doing all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just feeling the dancing from last night. Because I was an idiot and wore heels this morning.
All right. So if everybody, so if people want, we're not throwing yet, but we'll probably want our hands up in the air. And if you want to throw, you can on this next drill. It's kind of a footwork drill, but can also be a timing drill. So we're going to add a little footwork. And if you want to throw. If you want to hold a shield, hold a shield. Or if you just want to do the footwork, that's perfectly fine as well. But meanwhile, I'll get back over here in front of the camera. Meanwhile, if you want to go ahead and warm those arms up, you get to do the helm or weight, just rocking arms, see, Bess, would you mind showing people again? Elfwin's not there. Oh. And then we'll do let's see if somebody knows how to do the Elfwin warm-up drills as well. Look like we have somebody.
Yeah.
Yes, you good?
Okay, yeah, thank you.
I can't hear you.
Ah, she disappeared again.
No,
Yes.
she's there.
Okay.
I don't.
You can't hear
No, her
me?
mic was bad earlier.
Gotcha.
We can
We're
hear.
telling you.
So, heavy?
Even if you can't hear, there we go. Oh, I need to get something heavy.
Where's your helmet?
You know what? I'll do it with this.
So if you got something heavy, and then,
Yeah, get those shoulders warmed up. Thank you. Well, that's too much over here.
She's got side to side.
Side to side.
Yep.
Okay.
and then little circles.
Again, remember, this is just kind of shifting your legs.
Circles.
Switch arms. Don't forget your other arms, of course. Yeah. Oh, is it? Okay, sorry. Yes. All right, we'll get something.
right, she's doing the forward back,
Okay.
or she was.
I think she's just
I
finishing
missed
us.
it.
She's reminding us of all of them.
Now she's doing shoulder rolls.
Shoulder rolls. Oh. Ooh, that's not good. Does it usually come in? May have lost it.
Lost what? That's a problem. Oh, we're doing
Oh,
these ones.
oh, these?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'd
don't know
love
what
to
it's
do
called.
those.
So, like pull out and open.
Ah, those hurt. All right. What's
Oh,
she doing now?
doing the twisty around ones.
Oh yeah, right.
I
I'm just doing the
apologize
fully
for
across ones.
not having a clue the real name for these
I
backs.
can touch my fingers.
Just trying to like explain it.
Isn't this a yoga bind?
Yeah, this is a yoga something. I don't know why I'm showing. Beth is showing. I'm just the verbal cue.
All right, what is she doing now?
Same thing.
Same thing. Yeah, I ain't
Other
doing that.
side.
I can pull my elbows, but I can't turn them back. That would be, you'll hear me scream. Fall
Yeah.
to the ground.
Ronis,
You
can
do what you
hear me?
do. Do what your body is capable of.
Ronis, being able to do this arm took weeks of building up to it.
All right. We all set?
Quick reminder, everybody, please sign all the waiver stuff. The Marshall stuff's on the cooler. Is there everybody here practice one? I think. Do you have the everybody one? Our good Central has the everybody one over by the screen like normal.
Yeah.
All right, I am up. So I'm gonna do this here by. I'm gonna turn this camera a little.
Sorry for awkward ice cream truck music in the background.
There
It's
we
moving
go.
real slow,
Awesome.
so it's gonna be there for a minute.
So let me grab my boffer sword. What I had? Do I have one over here?
You did.
All right. So we're gonna do that first one that we talked about practicing. I showed a little bit. This drop for the jab can be, again, we have to get into selling that probe, right? That fake. So sometimes you can just drop straight down into your feet and give a breath. Give that breath out. Just blow it out and lean slightly onto that forward leg. And what happens is they believe that you're cutting to their outside. So they believe that you're going to throw this offside body, which causes them to shift into that direction. So here we are, and I'm literally looking and pointing at their shoulder or their arm. So what happens in there is they'll drop into this back hip and turn here, which gives you that position and time to step around their outside foot. So Saib's going to come in front of me here and we'll show it. Okay? So if your opponent doesn't bite, then sometimes you can just literally tap them on the sword. Just tap them right on the top of the basket hilt, right where the keons on a real sword would be. Right here. So I'm going to drop just like I'm normally. Bang! That pins their sword. The reason why we don't go for a top piece, you got to reach for that. And if they start rolling back and you miss, they're into a shot already and they're going to hit you. So when we hit the meat of the sword, even if they start turning, you're still hitting that sword. So be careful of where you're aiming on that sword when you throw that essentially chopping shot. So here we are. This time I already know that as soon as I start moving, she drops that elbow because I can see that. I don't need to throw the shot to convince her. So now I'm going to give her a bigger convincing where I'm just going to step, not even, almost like a half a step forward. That gives her feel that I'm driving this side. She's going to lean to that side. So here we go. And then I'm here. So even if it tries to keep up, and this is maybe where I learn I'm not doing this very well. So here I go. And she turned even before I could get there, right? So this time I'm like, okay, well, I'm not doing that very well. Oh, my goodness. So what I had to do in that one is, she already kind of knew I was going one way, so she started cutting it off early. So I took that, I just made it into a double step. Here we are, jab, jab, turning, and then I turned around the other way. So beware and learn from your opponent and how they're doing things. In other words, what happens here is I might do that. Again, good. And here I'm still in a good range. I still have nice blocks. We still have to lean into stuff. But I learned if I could get around her foot or not. Right now, the good part is her foot is actually pointed between my wedge. So I'm still feeling pretty good because she's under rotated. But that's the piece in a fight that you want to learn and pick up. That's that. The probe can be an actual movement, a real movement, but you have to learn from it. So I might try that again. Here we go. This time she's not sure which way I'm going. The good part here is what you see happen is win or lose, I am in control of this one. So what's happening here is right. She was in much better control because she actually put pressure back on me a little bit on the last turn. But in the earlier ones, there was no pressure. So I could pretty much keep doing that all day. But the key here is that you read what your opponent's presenting you. A lot of times we concentrate so hard on these feet. Like I'm like literally not looking at her face, and I'm just doing stuff to do stuff, and I'm not paying attention. So there's opportunities. She may be throwing things. I may be leaving stuff. Even if I'm doing good things with my feet, I'm still not really paying enough attention to realize she may be setting something up. So this.
You stop applying any pressure with this.
Right, and really all you're applying is pressure with great footwork, and that's only half of it.
For a little bit,
right.
Until I realize there's no sword, and I go, okay, whack.
Right. And this is one of those, this is one of those things that actually Sive has great footwork, but sometimes she doesn't present pressure up top very well. So this is, she learned this last week a little bit. And so this is the kind of thing that you want. So on the Pell, what I'd like to see, the first one, is a really good blowout. Hey! Drop, step, and throw at the same time. And then the next one, hey! Really try to turn that foot. So here we are, drop, turn, shift, turn. There we go. Turn around that, so get an extra step. So here we are. All right, I want to see some people do that.
Oh, wait, no. Hi, my name is Brian.
Go ahead, move mine, do it around the tree. Yeah, that's going to be the hard part around here. No Pell, unless.
I mean, there's the Pell's right there.
Yeah, that one's not quite as bad, but.
You didn't bring the little table, did you? Yeah, I should have thought about that.
This will be available.
All right, let's see.
The first one is just with
So remember that good first drop. And it doesn't matter, just make sure it's the opposite way that you're going. That good first drop foot. Give them that good jab. And make them believe, even if it's just a little shoulder dip, just like you're pushing their offside. And guess what? If you do this and you all of a sudden see that they give you that offside, well, you might have an opportunity later to use that.
give it a go.
So make sure that while you're rolling to the other side, that you're still within striking range of their pelt. All right, Grandma, I'm gonna highlight. Actually, Angie, I'm gonna highlight you first. If I can figure it out. There we go. Replace spotlight. All right, good. That's nice. Now I want to watch that first jab. You make me. If I don't believe it, I'm gonna yell at you. Good, not bad. Now I wanted the jab be a slightly less of a step, just literally like half that step. Yes. That's better. And breathe out. Good. That was better. Now you just have to catch your balance as you're rolling around that pedal. That's better. Okay? So step, roll, throw. Chicken's coming to show you how to do it. Good. So now again, now this time I don't even want you to take a step. I really just want you to stomp your foot. Lift and stomp it. See how you step still? So there's no forward movement of that front foot. So I'll show you real quick. The idea is, go ahead. So the idea here is I am literally just taking this weight and lifting and stomping. I may move 1 inch.
Can't see you.
Oh, you can literally lift your foot. Can you see my foot? Probably not.
No, I'm still.
Oh,
Not like yourself, promise.
that's that. You know, it'd help if I actually got myself in this, right?
It's technology.
I know, damn technology. Here I am. So watch, I'll put my foot right on this rope here. So see, I'm like 1 inch over. And then my hip is right over my foot. The other way is lift both feet and drop. But that one's like usually pulls people down to a leg shot. So this outside one pulls them over into offside body block. All right.
Can you Bernard,
Yeah.
can you turn your back to the camera and
Yep.
do that, all of that very slowly?
Can you see my feet?
Yeah.
Here I am. This one is a push to the outside. Literally, I'm just sliding 1 inch outside.
Got it?
You see how my hip dropping right over? I've got a lot of weight off this foot.
Okay.
Almost 90%, which is good because my next step is turn, roll over.
Okay, cool.
So that frees that back step for the movement. If you're faking a leg, what it looks like, I'm going straight up and down in front of a person. I literally feel like I lift my feet and fall. That's a big example. I just lift and drop. So that makes people feel, and really that's how you're going to throw a leg shot. So the real idea there is to do something, but don't throw it, see what your opponent does. All right, I'm going to go back, shifting over to Paul here. All right, nice rollover feet there, Paul. Let's see that front jab. Make it count. Make people believe it. Make me believe it. Good. So Paul, what I want you to do is I want you to point your knuckles right at your pel's face, even if your hand has to come up a little bit. There we go. There we go. So a lot of times those become a little bit tighter. You can throw the head shot much easier because now you're not rising because the hand's already there. Yeah, you notice now the head becomes really easy to throw. That's good, Paul. You're doing a great job there. Remember, I'm going after you next. All right, let's see it. Nice, buddy. Good. So you're doing kind of a shuffle foot there, which is perfectly fine. I just want you to be in a place where you're comfortable in doing it. Good. Now slow it down a little bit. Good. Very nice. Nice staying in your hips, straight body. That's right. I really want you to hit the top of that head. Remember, you're a tall guy. What are you going to start doing? You're going to start hitting over to people's heads. Going to use that height. Really, really good. All right. I'm going over to... How you feeling, Beth? Feeling good? Give me a thumbs up. All right. Sandra, you want to try this? Can I throw you on video? Just give me a thumbs up if I can. All right, you're up on video. There we go. Nice, good. Remember, get that little stomp right on me, right on your phone. Just step right into it a little bit. Good. One more. I can see it. That's okay. One more. Good jab step. That's right. Make sure they believe that jab step because that's a real fundamental. Nice. All right, I'm going to go back to ours, see how our folks are doing. All right. Ron, you want to go with these guys?
I'm sort of following.
Oh, okay, good. All right, now you got to sell it.
Yeah, well.
All right, ready? Sell it on me, else I'll hit you in the leg. I don't care. I'll hit you anywhere if you don't sell it. Come on.
Man.
Come on.
Hard to sell it when you make that right.
Give me harder breath. There, good. Now roll. Good.
Taking shots you don't throw.
Good. Make them what? Yeah, make them shots you don't throw. Another, give me a little bit more hand. And what he's looking is he wants to see a little more.
I see a faking on a shot.
Right, and there's no sword part of that. So what we're happening here is, and we're going to show this one,
Make sure we're in the camera.
is that she's giving me good feet,
A lot of face.
but I need to see some hands. So I'm going to move this so that our ladder's out of the way. No, it's us getting in your way.
Do you have
Go around those.
boards or anything?
I think I got it now.
Okay.
All right. I got to come over here. Awesome. There we go.
Yay.
Now you can see our wonderful Duke Roundgalder here, scaring all of us, telling us we're doing everything wrong again. Big mean guy. All right. So,
He's telling us how to do it.
so Side's going to stand right with the back to the camera.
Is that why his name's Wrongbalder?
You're always wrong. That's how he hits everybody. Nice. I me neither. Come on, you're pointing at that. You're gonna fake on that elbow. You gotta look, right? You're looking at me. There. That's it. Push that energy right in. Ah, that's better.
Now you feel like you're gonna throw it.
Yeah. So in that case, what happened was, watch her. She's gonna do this again right at the camera, so you can see what actually made this sell.
And I gotta figure out how to do it without.
So she's gonna show what she was doing right at the beginning. Just take that step with hardly anything, right? Just, yeah. There you go. Now she's gonna add a little bit more breath. There, you notice her eyes actually start looking at her target here a little bit.
They can see my eyes. They can't.
Right, that's why I'm telling you.
Make them both one breath.
Yeah. Good thing about hitting. There we go. So the idea here on this is really think about hitting that shot.
Understand.
Okay? Think about really hitting that shot. There we go. That's it. Good. Because if you're not thinking about hitting that shot, then you're not selling the shot. And you might find the key on that is, again, that's at building that awareness to your opponent. But the key is you might throw it, they don't move, and you're like, I think I could actually hit that shot. Right? But what you're doing here is actually a probe. So she's going to probe my elbow here. So she saw, you think you can hit that shot?
Yeah. Your arm twitching the way it is.
Okay, so her next piece would be to look, sell it for real, and then turn it into something else. Okay? Now, if she starts throwing that and I don't move, Then she's just going to throw that. All right? Now I want more focus on the end of that shot. Go ahead and hit it. Back it up. There we go.
Making first, we're just going straight
Anything
at
you
it.
want. Make first for that. Pull it off. Harder.
Try to pull it
I
off.
know. I want you to really force, but stop right on it. Good. Yeah. Okay. Do it again. Stop right on it. All right. Do we want to try again? Okay. Close. A little less than the earlier ones because we started, but that was still in between the two. Does that make a little more sense?
Target inside.
So what we're showing here is making sure that you're not pulling your power away from your sword. In this example, she throws an offside super fast, but she's pulling it away a little early. So by making your person stop on the throw, they finish that power on that throw, on that target, and then they go back and guard. That's a practice. You have to be careful practicing that too much because then you get bad habit of not returning your guard. But you also want to make sure that you're fully committing all the way through the shot before you return that guard.
So can I just ask about elbow position on that? Can I see the elbow position a bit? Because I was just throwing at Wolfram was just commenting my elbow was coming, you thought, too far
It
out.
looked like it was coming in, which if you're trying to sell a slot shot, it wouldn't really come out. That would be selling an offside to me.
Right. So
Going at this shoulder.
it's selling an offside. In this case, I'm going to turn it a little bit. She's going to sell. This is a sell to the offside. She steps. She notices now in this example that I am turning with it. So she's not going to hit this shot. All right? But she also just learned that she could go some different way and try something different.
Okay, thank you.
So that's what you would do.
Yeah. Yeah. My elbow was coming out too far to feel it. Much better. One minute.
And now they froze?
Yeah, they're frozen for me too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gone black here for us.
Oh, sorry.
Out the back.
I jinxed them.
So now,
You
now I'm
frozen
magically
for
the
me
host
yet.
again. Oh, I presume that they're reconnecting.
Right, there we go. There we go. There we go.
Can you guys hear us? Are we back?
Thumbs up if you hear us.
All right, looks like we're back.
All right.
So,
All right. All right, we're back. So again,
sorry about that.
What I'd like everybody to do on their Pell in this case is on that first jab step, I want you to go ahead and throw. So I guess this is an example of how we have to show what we're doing here. We throw this elbow. It's just a quick drop. So if you look at my sword, I start here, and this sword tip drops and pushes out. It's an L. So here we go. Watch my sword. Drop, L out. It is not this. That's a 45.
That
Drop,
would miss the
L
arm
out.
every time at that angle.
Right. So here's the reason why we don't do a 45. Here I am. I do this 45. I slide here, and then my sword goes to the ground. If I drop my body and my elbow first, or I drop into this foot, I'm outside that line. Look, I'm already dropping this nice and flat. Push out. So let me do it backwards to the camera. There we are. Look here, I drop. You see how that sword says the tip is starting to drop across? L out. And it is not this, don't pull. This is not the sword comes pulling. Here, punch out. And when you punch out, punch out. Because if I do this, I miss, or maybe I glance down. Here, out. That same thing happens to the leg. Sorry. Here, out. Did I hit that bad spot? Oh. Okay.
We're just gonna not do that.
That no more, yes.
I'll
You can do it on me.
the imaginary
You can
arm,
do it on me,
you know.
okay? So be aware that what I see a lot is people do these drops. And what's this basket? Where's your power going? My power is actually going back this way because my basket is pulling that way. So my power is going down into the ground.
Like draw cuts don't work for this.
Right? This is the same. I see a lot of people throw an offside leg shot the same way. They're here, and they draw this leg shot. And that now my power is going backwards. I am not delivering out into my opponent. But if I drop and I push, if I'm here and I drop and I push it out, push that hand out. You notice how my hand's getting closer. Now my power is going forward. If you got right hip engagement, then that adds to that power. And the hard part here is there's a lot of pieces to develop to get to the right spot. Yeah. This is a good one to start. If you're doing it, I wouldn't worry about the leg so much. I would worry about just shooting it right about elbow. So just drop straight up. So on a tree, just on the pedal, literally you can stop here, lean into this foot. All right.
And if you're a shorter opponent fighting a taller opponent, you can even do this where you effectively that L goes up into them if they're taller than you, or if you just are really good at squatting real far. And it's actually a lot easier to get that shot if you can make it be angled up. Because you're coming just like into their forearm this way.
Right. The big piece on this is if you're throwing this, again, this can be used. A great part of this can use, sometimes I'll look at my opponent and I'm like, I can touch her elbow, but it's never going to be good. I'll still touch their elbow. I'll be out here, I'll be like, I'll throw that little quick jab to the elbow. Well, you want to try to throw? I'm going to have her go ahead and show you some throw. So all I'm doing is drop and throw. Now I'm going to drop and push. Drop and push. But if I can't hit them, I'll pop it real quick just so they know if I touch an opponent, they're like, they just touched my arm.
Now I have to think.
Now I have to think. It's like, even if it wasn't good, don't let them take junk, but say, shake it off like, no, that's not good. And then, but in their head, they're like, yeah, but is the next one going to be good? And now you remember that part where we're trying to break somebody's mind down? This is doing that. We're working on breaking people's minds down. We're working on a probe at the same time. And we're really trying to find out what shot we can throw, and we're using good technique.
And that elbow is just a favorite probe. Because everybody goes, oh no, my elbow. Like everybody does something.
Yeah, exactly. And then what happens actually is exactly what just got said was, here's my arm, side throws at my arm, and what now I'm like, I just moved it down. Well, the problem with me moving it down is now I can't throw a headshot, and it opens this angle to the center line. So all of a sudden, now, in this case, I overreact. And then she throws to this side because I'm overreacting and creating that angle. Or even worse, I'm going to protect this elbow by bringing my sword back. Same problem, because now I'm tucked in here. It actually makes it harder to throw in here. And realistically, your forearm is actually seen even more.
Oh yeah, if I really want to.
Right? Your forearm, if I'm here in front of the camera, here's a good form. I'm a little bit out. You can see my hands out away from my body. So I'm cutting the angle like a goalie. And you can see there's hardly any forearm. But as soon as I drop in here, I'm going to tilt a little just to get it like even with the camera a little. If I drop in here, what happens? Actually, let me switch to my my phone view because it will actually show that. Yeah, is my phone view up here somewhere? Oh, it isn't. Can you actually see my phone view? Should be Bronis's phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can swap it to that one.
Because that's a, so here we are. Good. So here we are. You notice you barely see my arm, the line of my arm. I'm even pretty much with you right now. See, there's a very little. If I pull this back, look how much more there is. Not only is my wrist bent, which means we can't throw very easy, but my forearm is more exposed. This is one of those bad habits that you see people do. If you can make them do it, awesome. All right? But those are the kinds of things you want to watch for. So I want everyone, I'll watch and I'm going to review. Saib's going to work with a couple people here on this arm shot. But I just want that little tap arm shot. Again, the idea is watch the sword drops and then extends out. Really slow L. Straight drop, extend out. Let me show it on the side camera. Look at, it's not going forward yet. Not going forward yet. Out. Right? Not going out. So, I know, that's fine. We'll just start with this one really slow technique. So the idea there is that we're getting a chance to work that exercise. The first time I want to see it, and if you want, like Grimmer, you're going to have to you could actually throw this around somebody's head as well, around their sword. So the first one is drop straight out, even if it's like into their sword that's protecting their face. Next time it might be this, reach around their sword. But the idea is you're putting pressure on this side of the body much easier, and it's very small. And you can see the hand's it's always coming right back. It's not this. Now my hand is down, now I have to raise it. You know, and if you're rolling in a flow, that's fine. You can still do that, just make sure you're getting there. But the real piece is that this is just a tap. It's almost like a jab. It's the same boxing jab to the other side of the body. But I could run that jab right here. This angle, high head. Run this jab off to that side. Now it's a jab to the elbow, right? Jab to the leg. So I want you to try jab, 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 horizontal jab, dropping leg jab. All three of those, I'm going to watch them. So these are important because these will sell as well. This is what makes people think. So I'm going to replace the spotlight over to Angie. There we go. Let's see that jab. Just pop it out there and bring it right back. There you go. Yeah, bring it back to good form every time. There you go. Good. That's right. You notice that her sword's dropping first and then out. Yes, now make it one step and throw. There you go. Yep, that's it. See how it's almost becoming more natural now. Now let's see a squat, step, and throw to the leg, that same shot. So you're throwing like hip. Yep, there you go, good. There we go. Believe it or not, I've seen people actually throw these on an up angle into the bodies. Louis does that. All right, that's really nice. So again, you can totally return your standard method or you can return right back up. And the standard method for Angie here is that rolling throw, roll it back, and back into position. In this case, she's doing it a little bit different by bringing it sword back to her head like what we do. All right, Paul, I'm adding you. All right, let's see it. Good. Nice. Good. Now just throw a straight punch right in his head. Same idea, but right to the top of the head. There you go, right in there. And you can change that angle any way you want. You see how fast those become, right? And now all of a sudden you face at the head. Yes, exactly, Paul. That's exactly what we're talking about. Nice. you do these types of things, and what happens, your opponent doesn't understand what's coming next. You like it, Paul? Now, with buckler, this is hugely important for you because now you're keeping a distance. You can control your opponent. So you can really control your opponent's distance because as soon as they step in, you jab at them and roll. Now we get to use that footwork. I think you're still muted or something's on your phone. I can't quite hear you, but yeah, no, nothing. Oh.
Yeah, it's a very natural movement. It's a nice thing about it.
It's totally natural. Yep. And the good part on this is you can do this while going backwards as well. So when you have a partner, have them follow you, and literally you throw that same jab while you're going backwards. On steps going backwards, you can throw that same jab. Nice. So now you're controlling distance and everything else. Yes, exactly. Very nice.
Love it.
Yes. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna go over. Yeah, I'm glad you like that one. Alessandra, this is you this time. Replace. There we go. Awesome. There we go. You're on. Good. Yes, that's exactly it. So you're going to have to watch those knees a little bit because now we're really dropping into them, aren't we? Yes. Just so you be careful. You be careful on that. Now, a good way is you don't actually have to drop into that. You could literally stand right in front of your lapel and just shift a little bit and throw that shot. Yes, there you go. Good. Dude, and then just practice that. L down, sword goes down, and then out. Yes, there we go. Sword down, out, and there you go. All right? And then change the height of those. Very good. That looks good. Yes, and that's the way. Nice high one there. Good. All right, Bess. I'm just following you here online here. I'm going to highlight back to us, and then I'm going to take a look at how Bess is doing. Hold on. Replace spotlight. There we go. Good. All right, Bess. Let me see how you're doing. Good. You're throwing those high head, the high head ones there. Good. Very nice. Woo! That's nice. I know you're gonna, don't fall out that window. Good. Very good. I want you to see. I want to see. Yes, there you go. I want to see some of that lower offside leg or hip. No, you're not going to do that because that one just hurt. All right, you stretch that out. Grammar, I'm popping to you. All right. Yes, that's it, Grimmer. Yes. Good. Now, I want you, can you do me a favor and step about a foot away from that pedal because you're way too close. I know. See, Grimmer wants to be right up on you. There we go. Good. Yeah, you notice now you're stretching it out. Good. Now, bring those feet a little bit closer together. You're a little wide. There we go. Good. Now, what I want you to do is heel the toe. In other words, take that sword foot, step it back about 6 inches, so your toe is right at your heel level. There we go. And now you're going to take a little bit of a step forward, just a tiny 1-inch jab into that step while you throw it. The wrong foot. Take the other foot. There you go. There. Now step back. Now do me a favor. Step back another foot. Ah, there we go. That's what we want to see. See how far away you are? Yes, that's what I want you to keep practicing. All right? Is that nice, long, quick step. Keep that person off you. And when they want to get on you, you take that distance away, step right up on them. Your arms are free. You're so tall. Your shoulders are free. You throw those big J hooks over their shoulders. And you're not, your job is not to hit them in the head. It's to hit them right in the shoulder blade. All right? Because they don't block. They're blocking their head. They don't block their shoulder blades. But we'll worry about that shot later. Yes, that's the one. Yes. Good. So back to those jabs. I want you to stay on those jabs a little bit. I want you to work them up and down. I want the long jab, the center straight out jab, and then the 3 offside jabs, and the jab, the straight jab to the leg too. Yes, there we go. And add some of those quick steps in there. Yeah, that's a nice drop to the leg. Awesome. All right. That's I'm watching you while everybody's watching Grimmer. Yeah, watch the drops because that's going to hurt those hips. So you'll probably concentrate a little more on head today. Nice. Very nice. All right. I like everybody's jabs are looking so much better. So the big key on these, and the same with you, Paul, just like what I just did to Grimmer. You see how I pushed him away from his pelt? I'd like to see you do that same thing. Add another inch or two and then drop an inch or two into that front step and throw that shot. Adds a little bit more of a load. Just drop, lean, and throw. And do that L. Because that's going to give you your range all at the same time. Yep, there you go. All one step. Yeah, it's better. Yes. Popping back to Paul. Yes, that's the way, Grimmer. By the way, you're looking really good there. Yes. Good. Very, very nice. So what we're learning today here is some distance. Angie, I want to see that same distance work from you. There we go. Yes. That same thing, drop and throw. Good. Much better. Good. Now, one thing I want you to be a little tighter on your grip, Angie, so that little bit what's happening is you're dropping and that tip is falling behind a little bit. Don't let it fall behind. It almost should be part of the beginning throw of the shot. In other words, yes, you see how you're going forward. Almost think of that tip starting to go forward. Yeah, so don't think about the hand. So the hand has to do that. In fact, the hand doesn't have to move up. So I'm going to pop back to myself for a sec so you can see. There's my phone. I'm going to do this, replace. So here's what I'm seeing. So what I'm seeing a little bit in this is that you're popping the hand up, and what's happening is this is dropping, but you're dropping it by popping the hand or elbow up. What you want is this hand really is not, it's almost staying, it can stay in the same place. But I'm thinking about the top of this sword. I'm thinking, I'm starting to push this top. And I'm thinking all this top, I'm like, L, right here with that top of the sword. I'm like, so what I see a little bit is you're moving your hand, and you notice how this starts dropping behind me. So I'm here, now the tip is behind me. Instead, I'm already starting, I'm dropping this, but you notice the tip isn't behind me. I'm dropping it straight down. Bang, right? Bang. Bang, I don't want this. That almost becomes 2 shots.
And it shows where the shot's coming from.
Yes. So think about just you're pushing that top of the sword. Yes, right there. Yes. That is so much better. You see how that's 1 shot now? Ah!
You can even push the sword so hard that it pushes your back a little bit away from it. You try not to do too much, but if you push real hard, like I'll end up pushing against my back or my body weight enough that it'll actually push the sword forward, push my back a little bit.
And what's good when you do that is if I'm closer to an opponent, what happens is I could be here and I'm very close. He can't really throw, so he has to lean back to throw that to hit me. He creates that distance by leaning back. And he's not leaning his shoulders, he's shifting. It's like he's shifting.
Guys, I can't see because I'm still highlighted.
Oh, sorry. Let me have Louis show you again. I think this is the one. Hold on, replace. There we go. But you definitely got the shot. So here we are. We're back here. See how Louis leans back from that? Watch, even if I'm closer, he leans back to get that full distance of that arm in there. Now, if he doesn't lean back, then he's kind of, he never gets full distance with his arm. He's kind of, there's only a tiny space to create energy.
If I don't lean back, it feels like everything has to be wrist, where it's just pushing wrist.
Now, if I'm way out, like we've just been working on, now he can just step forward. Now he's leaning forward, right? Or he pushes on that hip.
So,
or if I'm way out, he can take a little bit of a step, right? At the same time as throwing. Exactly. So you see how we're controlling that distance, where it's much, you know, the key here is that we're recognizing distance and we're using that distance to throw the same shots we know. All right? So that becomes a real critical point in understanding and controlling your opponents. Is now you can fight and do this same technique against people that are close, far, you know, close, medium, or far distance, because you're able to essentially figure out exactly the distance you need to throw that shot. But the real critical piece about this shot is that it's a quick jab, and you're using this quick jab. So if Louis was trying to hit my arm like a normal person, and this is not always easy, there's a couple ways he could do it. One is he could try to throw the big Molinet, so he's just rolling and turning. We'll show this one later. But this is big. This is a timing change, and that's what makes that work. But if he's just trying to throw a normal one, he might just throw a 45 straight down my arm, and that's going to probably be picked up or slide right off my elbow. Okay? So, and especially since the shield is here, what happens is now all of a sudden he has to get past that shield, and he may not be able to do that. But with the L, now he's just able to drop and throw. That's the Molinet, just a simple L now. Bang. See how he just leans and he throws that straight out. Again, this isn't always the hardest shot in the world. Don't let people take it if it's light, if you think it's light. But what this shot does is it makes me move. I know Louis gives me even, I'm like, oh shit. And now Louis is taking my head. I can see it right in his eyes. All right? So that becomes the part of this that's important, is that you have a shot that you can target and touch a person's body on one side. You may be able to deliver that shot hard, or hard enough in your kingdom, when you have all the pieces together. In other words, you got that step outside and that hip is turning, right? So you may be able to do that. I'm able to hit that sometimes, and sometimes I have to call it off. The person will be like, oh, that's good, and I'm like, no, it wasn't. But it's your choice, or well, it's their choice, really. But the idea is they know that they have to respect this offside. I have to respect Louis looking at my elbow now.
Is there any advantage to Louis going further left and breaking his wrist, or is that too slow?
So, like stepping left?
Reaching.
Yeah. No, with the breaking his wrist like you do on the headshot, but.
So like here, look in front of the camera. That's the camera. This one. Okay. So if he wants, so when you say left, like get the hand way over.
Well, I'll try and show you. So instead of this.
Again, sometimes you may be able to, oh, I see. Like, so he's dipping really hard, leaning really hard over to the left. No Molinet, just a straight L shot. So the key here, this becomes difficult, but yes, you can absolutely do this. You can take that straight shot out and then try to keep it with the back. Yes. See how he's breaking his hand? Just be careful of your edge work on that one. Exactly. You really have to turn the hand to break it outside there. So what I do, I'll do that one when I'm throwing to the head often, because I want around the sword. So this is one that you can do on a Pell. What we do is we have the Pell, and then we usually have, I'm using the stand for the camera, but we usually have a stand. So if I'm the Pell, right, and here's my sword, he has to get around this piece. Right, now just do the L. Right, now just lean and long L. There you go. See how he has to get past that. Now sometimes I'll even move this Now he has to really get past. Now lean even farther, even take a jab step. There we go, good. Okay, exactly. So yes, you can do that, but remember, even though we're taking these little steps and they're faster than most people, they are still able to see them. This is why the sword and the step has to fall at the same time. If I do this and then do this, they've already seen the first part of that step and already committed to make the block. But if I'm here and I give a little, maybe a little on one side, and then I step and throw, then it's one tempo beat, right? One motion, and it's harder for them to catch up on it. But you can absolutely do what you're talking about by breaking your wrists better. What we do is we use a pole. Both Side and Louis did this all summer long last year. We'd put that pole, literally, if Louis was the Pell, right? I would, let's see, which back camera? Get like your lapel. So we put the pole right here, right in front, that smack dab in front, and then I spent time rolling around that Pell. And then we moved the Pell over a little more. Now I'm like, wow, I could barely see his elbow. Bang. I have to get around. That Pell is somebody's shield edge. Right? Maybe even this. Maybe the shoulder.
Or we're doing the back side of the head.
Yeah, or this high, long back side of the head, right? Or that leg. But you can see what we do with this stick is we use it as an opportunity to throw around. And that allows you to slowly practice your movement. You can watch your sword. Here I am, I'm just practicing my movement. I lean, I see it. And then that sword, that pole's right in front of me again. Bang. I see it. Bang. 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 All right? And then if I want to get tougher, then he moves it farther over. There we are. Now I'm like, holy crap, I see hardly anything. Bang. Bang. All right? So that by using, you can take a stick and stick it in the ground. We have a stand that we use. That's super simple to make, and we put the stick on there and put that in front of the Pell and adjust it. We just move it back and forth, and that way we can practice. Like if I'm practicing hitting the other side, here I am. I'm like, oh man, I can't see that leg at all. Well, maybe I have to practice shooting out, breaking the hand out a little bit more, or maybe I need to practice throwing a wrap. Right? A wrap, he could literally set that on his toe, and I'm like, all right, that's his shield. Hey, bang. Now I'm throwing right around that shield edge. So it adds a layer of opportunity for you to practice where your body's supposed to be and how your hand's supposed to go to get around this target, or what would be the shield edge. So it's a really nice tool to use, especially with the Pell. We also made, and I think we threw the plans up a long time ago, Louis made a really nice shield stand we got from Kuhn. He has all the PDF for it, and it literally, you can act just as your stick. It's a 2x4 on it, or you can put a shield on it, hang a shield on it, and then you're shooting the gaps of those shields. So if you need those or you're interested in those, we can throw the PDF back up there and a couple pictures as well. All right, so let's, I'm going to shift back to, we've gone through a little bit of the jab step, but what really, I think the part, we're adding a little bit more on things that will challenge your opponent. So you know, we talked about earlier, first patient. And I know that part, I think everybody was on for that.
Frozen again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but only his main screen. If you look at Veronic's phone, that's working.
Yeah, but we can't hear him.
Yeah, weird. Hey, Grimmer, could you please put yourself on mute? Thank you. Bronis, we can't hear you. Still. Ollie, ollie, oxen free. Okay.
Go to that, or actually, it looked like it was.
Are we good?
We can hear you now.
All right. So let me go later here on mine so I can see what we're shooting. There we go. So again, this what I was saying is that we shoot to this arm, this jab, we fake. If the fake's not working, maybe it's time to try that L shot, because I can guarantee you if you touch them, even if it's light, now they have to respect your fake. So that's why I really wanted to talk about the L shot. I believe we talked about the L shot one time, but it was a long time ago. But you guys look like you and girls were looking like you're throwing it much better. I'd really like to try that at range on somebody at a practice, just to keep them off you. Bang, just bang, right at that elbow. See what they do with their hand. First thing you should look against an opponent, if Louis is throwing on me, okay, let me grab my shield, which is right here. Not here. It's over there with some people. Let me go grab it. My shield was right here. Yes, absolutely. All right, so Louis is going to demonstrate on me. If I'm standing here, and you could see, let's see what's going to be the best method. Actually, Louis is going to get his back to here. There we go. So when Louis, I got a real tight guard right here. There's no gap really there. But when Louis drops that L to my arm, look what happened. See that top side? The first thing you want to look for is somebody that's not doing this. And if they do this, so if I do this, look what opens, this gap in the head. So Louis is just going to give me some, now he's going to give me, yep. Now he's going to fake, and then he's throwing right to the center line. So he's looking for where my weakness is. So watch when I take the center line away. And Louis is going to have to figure out which one it is. Go ahead and throw that. Take. Take. Now it's open. Yep. So Louis found one. Now watch where he throws. Right into the body. All right. So because what was happening is now I'm bringing my shield. Look where the point of my shield's coming up. So now he throws right into the body or the leg. But you see how we're learning with that jab? He's learning where my weaknesses are. Now watch. I'm going to do something different. Right. So he's catching me pushing the sword out to make the block. So now he throws the inside arm, or he could still throw it down. Also, you know, he could actually slip and throw the inside leg because all my offense is going out. Bang. So he knew that this is opening up, and he can throw it to the inside, or he can throw that offside leg because I'm not dropping. If I was dropping, that leg goes away. So if I was just doing this, that leg goes away, the head shows up. If I'm doing this, the leg and head goes away, but my body shows up. Your opponent's going to probably show something. It's just how much and if you can hit it in the time that you need. So again, that's an example, a big example. I mean, some opponents we're going to show a lot less. But that's a big example of what you have to do to pro people and really start figuring out and breaking down a fight. Does that make sense? And again, you want to do this in a range that you're safe, or in a space that you know your defense is rock solid. You don't want to do this in any space that you're not comfortable defensively doing. You remember, this is that place where you can get caught up in a fight and then forget that defense is first. Yes, it makes for a boring fight, but you know what? If they don't hit you, you don't lose. It's as little as that. If they don't hit you, you have another opportunity to hit them. So you have to live on that level. You have to make sure that when you're committing to something, that you're not committing to something where you might get hit. And guess what? That takes patience. Something I have to work on a little bit more lately. But that takes patience. I mean, if you're in a rush, then you make mistakes. So you know, when you do get hit, you're like, am I, you know, step back for a second, say, was I in a rush? Did I push that fight too fast? And if you say, yes, I did, then you need to either say, okay, this time I'm not going to push that fight. I'm going to pull that fight. I'm going to make them come at me and throw shots. Right? So that way you're still in control, and that you're adding level of patience to it. So try to add that when you get an opportunity in a fight. Again, a lot of us aren't getting those opportunities right now. Some are getting back to it. Okay. And some are getting just back to it. But ultimately, the key is that we already know that everybody here's footwork is phenomenal. I think we can work a little bit more on distance, and you guys can, now that little push, that little drop step you notice works at distance. What Cy found last week in fighting was that she was stepping right into the front of people and couldn't ever get the proper range. And then when I pointed out to step into 45, she found that when she stepped into 45, it confused her opponent, and then she could step into range and throw. So again, that's the thing she learned, and so, you know, she's learning to control that range better. You know, Louis had a lot of fights. He had a bunch of fights, and maybe later today he'll post them out, what he thought of his fights yesterday. He was at a big practice down in Texas, because I'm looking forward to hearing it myself, and then maybe he could share with you guys tomorrow or tonight. But, you know, the key here is we need to share what we feel like is working, because other people are like, okay, if it's working for them, I want to see if it's working for me, and what's not working. Because if it's not working, either maybe you're just doing something small wrong, right? So that becomes the key. So you guys, today you got some really good probing exercises. You saw Louis really in that last one probing and finding and looking. And sometimes that's hard because you have to think, it's like, okay, the two things I was looking at aren't open. So now it's like, where is my next one, right? And sometimes you'll go in and you want those two things. This is that patience piece. You want one of those two things so much that you push it and then you get killed.
Or you forget to look at the other side.
And you get so isolated on one thing, you forget to look at the actual opportunity. So.
May I share, sir? I actually got my first ever successful fake at practice on Wednesday. Hang on, I'm going to go around. We were both armed, and my opponent, I'll see that so you can see, my opponent was just throwing this flat snap, then this flat snap, then this flat snap, and I kept blocking it, and I kept blocking it, and I kept blocking it.
Here, I'm going to go.
It just lit up like he's going to throw that again and again, and again and again, and I just kept blocking it, and then all I did was I started to throw to that side, and I had my weight already shifted this way, and I just stepped and hit him. And it just went, I thought it was a minute before he threw the next flat snap that I threw into and caught him offside. He thinks it was a 40th of a second. But it just went so slow.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I mean, good in your...
Sorry to interrupt, but I have to share it. I've never done that before. I've never done it, ever.
And that's the idea, is to find those places where you're getting a chance to do things that you've never done, right?
Yeah,
so
it was amazing. It was cool.
Those are the kinds of things I want to, you know, and sometimes it's not even about killing somebody. I'm going to replace for a second. Hold on. Get back to us. Replace spotlight. There we go. And sometimes it's not even about killing somebody. It's literally, hey, I did this and this person did this. I didn't kill them, but I actually thought about it. You know, some people didn't think about what the next step was, and they would just go into the next piece. And I had somebody call, you know, actually say, is like, what was cool is I did something, and then I was like, I analyzed what happened after it was done, where I haven't done that before. because they're becoming more self-aware of what they can see and what's happening in the fight. So maybe it's not leading to a kill right away, but that's the step to get there. So, anybody else have anything? Louis, did you have anything cool yesterday that?
No, it actually ended up being, there's supposed to be 30 people and we ended up having 6. So
Oh, okay.
everybody
Ditched.
Yeah.
Was it super hot?
It was 99 degrees.
Ooh, 99. Yeah, I'd be ditching. I get you. If I had shade, maybe not.
So I fought Ragnar a few times, and what turned out was anytime I did all my.
I think we're on
this guy here.
I think we're on this guy.
Right here.
No.
Honest, look forward, and
This one is you on the side.
Sorry, I'm looking at your.
There we go. Yeah, he's there you go. So go ahead.
Anyways, I fought Ragnar yesterday, and anytime I focused on footwork, I did well. And anytime I got too tired of focusing on footwork, I got hit. So.
That's good. That's good to know. Right. See, and this is the big piece, because then actually Louis and I and Cy have been working on this a lot, because some of this really was a struggle to get to that place where you're like, okay, I got to fake. So Louis is a very natural fighter, and he's trying to figure out that same place where analyzing that fight is a little different for him, and he's starting to find that place. He can see the places where he's winning here and where he's losing. That's that place is like, okay, that means I need to really work on my footwork, and when I'm not, I need to stop, need to think about it, need to go back and work on my footwork.
Yeah, it's just a little exhausting sometimes.
Yes, 100%.
So have to find a way to incorporate that without
breaking it, going too much.
So much energy into it.
Yes. So again, you were talking. I'd love to. Louis is one of these guys that can compete in a mid-round crown and be very. He'll be up and possibly win, but he's still working on stuff like that, right? He can see the benefits that are coming out of what's happening.
Well, I mean, last week in practice was the first time I pieced. I did something, saw the reaction, did 2 things, saw another reaction, and then saw the opening, and then hit it on the 3rd one. So.
And that's a pretty big thing for you, right?
Yeah, that's the first time I've done that in 10 years.
So take that to heart. There's stuff happening here, and sometimes you don't think you're getting there, but you really are. It's taking some time to really find that place to get there. And those are the stories I want to. And thank you for that one, because I didn't hear that one. So those are the kinds of things I want to hear, because I know that we're going in the right path, and that we need to keep working on, like today's offside arm and body stuff. It's just a minor detail to focus on breaking opponent down a little differently. So those are the kinds of things we can start focusing on, smaller pieces to help you guys. And that distance with our feet becomes important. The distance between our feet and switching our feet sometimes and switching back, that becomes important. So those are the kinds of things I want to keep covering. Please start shooting the feedback so everybody's on. Again, next week, we're actually missing all the practices because we're out of town. We're trying to do this every other week. But let's try to at least post up, and we might even do the same thing up north. Oh, no, we're going to be driving home. Post up what you got a chance to do, even if it's just some squats, some working out, the normal stretches, all those stretches that Beth showed with your shoulders and things. And I want at least everybody to practice the jab. And I want everybody to let me know when they practice that jab. Does it sound fair?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. I hope you guys have a great time next weekend. Do whatever it is you're doing. I hope you have fun.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of a vacation. So I actually had to tell my boss yet I'm taking a long weekend. So.
Are you your boss, or is Rebecca your boss?
No, she's taking a long weekend too, so she knows. In fact, she's told me to tell my other boss that I'm taking a long weekend. So.
Well, I hope you guys have a great time.
Boss, which is her, told me I had to tell my fake boss, which is my work boss, that I'm taking. But all right, thank everybody for coming out today. Let's work that jab a little bit. I'd like to see that jab at practice. And if you get a chance to try that on somebody, do it. And let me know even if you touch people. Again, make sure they know if you just touch them and you don't feel good, tell them. It's like, okay, that didn't feel very good. And if they still say, no, I'm taking it because it felt good to them, there's nothing you can do about that. That's their choice. But make sure you know that you let them know how you feel. All right?
Okay,
That's
thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you very
All right.
much.
Bye,
Also,
guys.
anything that you want to work on. If there's something you're feeling weak in or that is not working well and we can cover, let's try to start hitting those a little bit tighter, okay?
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
All right.
bye.
Bye.
Bye, have a good holiday.
Have fun.
All right.